It's a real pleasure to welcome the international star and virtuoso pianist Valentina Lisitsa to Bristol Proms and here to Bristol Old Vic and the sound of seagulls, Valentina. I hear you've been chasing them all morning.
Not me exactly, but my son, who is 9 years old, he was all excited about coming.
Now, normally I would stand here with a little note about exactly what the program is for each of the musicians who are performing here. I've got nothing because I haven't got a clue what you're going to play.
Me neither.
So how does this work?
Well, this is a vote. We're in democracy, we're in 21st century, and the whole idea behind this concert is kind of to take it a little bit beyond the traditional setup of classical concerts. So the idea was for people to come to sort of a music party. I'm coming here, people are coming, lots of people know me, they're friends, and I meet new friends. I met new friends who live here, who know me by YouTube, and they saw me feeding seagulls. How embarrassing. So the idea is, to let people try the piano, to let people come on stage, and with a program, to let them choose what they want to hear tonight. We all come to restaurants and we're not used to having a setup menu, no choices. So downstairs, as people enter, we have little jars filled with Chopin, Schumann, Bach, all those delicious things. And people will select out of 8 pieces, 8 big pieces, serious, like big courses, big meal. They will select 4, their favorites, and I'll sneak, if we have time, more, little appetizers of what people didn't select. And there are big choices like 2 Beethoven sonatas, Pathetique and Tempest, Liszt sonata, Chopin etudes, complete set, Bach, Chopin, of course, Michael Nyman pieces from my new album, and so on. So it will be up to people as they come what they're in the mood for, because we don't know what will be in the mood for this evening. Depends on weather.
But what about you? What kind of mood would you be in? And if they select, I don't know, maybe they select the Beethoven, where actually you really fancy a Liszt sonata. What happens then?
Well, but that's why I sneak at 4 pieces out of 8. So the chance is pretty good. Statistics are on my side. And I only play music I love, and I hope people will love the same kind of music, and there are no favorites or disfavorites in this group for me.
Now, you talked about the sweet jars on the entrance into the auditorium here at Bristol Old Vic, but of course people are so used to engaging with you online, so can we vote online as well?
Yes, actually it is on Classical FM website right now, so you can still go and vote, even until the last moment. So all the votes will be combined.
But of course you are known as somebody who's become so involved and so engaged with your audience, with your fans, through YouTube, through your online activity. When you actually get to meet them in concert, does that feel very different?
I know some people who I know for years only by their screen names, which is really funny because sometimes you see their avatars, they have no idea how they look like, they come and introduce themselves, and it's not somebody like you imagine, you see somebody who you think is a kid, and it turns out to be a grown-up lawyer or something like that. So it's always interesting in a way to meet those people. But it's fantastic that, we're breaking these barriers that exist. It's kind of a glass wall in many concert halls nowadays. And I know that people are trying to break it from both sides, both the audience and the musicians, because, we're so ritualized in a way. I put nice concert gown, high heels. I come, as a celebrity on stage after people wait, the lights are off, the lights go on stage, and we go through this, kind of Japanese tea ceremony with silent bowing and all those things, which did not exist even in the 19th century. If you talk about times of Liszt or Chopin, you read about Chopin musical parties, when people loved how Chopin played, but people would come, Chopin would sit down with friends, he would play first movement of his Chopin concerto, then they would get up, have champagne, then they would play a little bit of chamber music, a couple of singers would sing, they would have appetizers, he would go back to second and third movement of concerto, whereas now, people are mortally afraid to applaud in the wrong place. Oh, people applaud after first movement. How dare they? They have no idea. So it's in a way it became elitist in last 50 years, and now we have to break it. People also used to go to movie theaters to see the movies. All those grand movie theaters with gilt ceilings, and now the idea of watching movie, it's everybody has movie theater at home. People get together, they eat, they drink, and they watch movies. And in a way, I don't want people to eat popcorn exactly and drink beer, but a nice glass of champagne one day in the future, perhaps, why not?
I think we'll have to say it's thanks to you and your pioneering work, because one of the other things that I understand from tonight and from the Bristol Prom you're playing, you're actually going to have your audience with you on the stage.
Yes, it's very important because there are so many little kids who come and they bring their parents, so they're our audience. And they dream about being on stage like me one day. And why not? Because people sit, when the doors open, that's another silly tradition. The doors open, people come, they start reading program notes. Well, there are no program notes tonight. So, and kids who are just squirming in their seats, they don't know what to do, they can go out, and I will encourage them to try the piano. They can play a little piece, they study a little bit of music. Let them go ahead. If they cannot play anything, let them just touch the piano. And in intermission, we'll have amateur pianists, because they actually, I think they had to submit videos themselves to Classical FM website in order to play for people, And for musicians, we play for people. We don't play for ourselves. And for them to try, even if half people, they will go and have their intermission, but maybe there will be somebody who will stay and listen to somebody who wants to become a professional, and that's a great possibility.
Valentina, it's going to be really quite an exciting evening. Thank you so much for breaking down those barriers and letting us make choices for you.
Thank you, my pleasure.